Guys, in this video, I'm going to teach you the easiest strategy for trading 0 DTE SPX options. It's so easy that anybody can follow, even if you're new to trading. And I'll walk through how to enter, how to exit your stops, and everything like that. So by the end of this video, you know exactly how to place this trade and make money. Guys, the strategy I'm about to show you is based on real back-tested data. Again, it comes from Tasty Live, and I'm going to break down exactly how they do it because this trade has a win rate of over 90%. It can make you about $100 a day when you win. Again, you're not going to win every time, but you will win a lot more than you lose. So let's dive into how this works. First off, again, I'm going to pull up SPX, which is where we should be trading this, because again, SPX. Now, the question is, why should we be trading 0 DTE on SPX? Well, if you don't know this, when you have options and they expire, they're at risk of assignment, which means you get shares for it. But SPX is cash settled, so there is no issues with assignment. So that's why we typically trade 0 DTE on SPX. But not only that, SPX has tax advantages, so we actually pay less taxes. But anyway, let's dive into the strategy. So let's go to a 5-minute chart. From here, what we want to do is we want to look at the morning of the open. So you can see here, the market just opened right here. You can see here when the market opened, it's the 27th today. So the market opened right here at this huge spike. And this is what the day has looked like so far. Green, 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 red, red, red. So again, I wanted to do this today because this is the ideal time to enter. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at the opening candle, this one right here, and we're going to define a few levels. So yeah, I'm going to make this a bit small so we can define levels, okay? First, we look at where it opened. It opened at 5473, all right? So now what we want to do is we want to do some simple math. We want to add 20 to that. So 5473, which means we want to go to 5493. So 5493, 5493, going to be right here. Just like that. I can actually make this a bit bigger. All right, 5493, and then we're going to do the same thing, but to the downside. We're going to subtract 20, so 5453. 5453 right here. So just like that. And these are the levels we want to watch for. If you don't know much about options trading, one of the most, or I should say the best zero DTE strategies is iron condors. Because they have defined risks, which means you can only lose a certain amount of money. And it's pretty simple. We just are betting that the stock stays between two levels. So as long as this stock stays between these two levels, we'll make money. But not only that, we can do a take profit where we exit the trade sooner. So even if later it does go outside of the range, we still make money. So this is exactly how we define the levels that we want to trade. So now the question is, now that we know the levels, how do we structure this trade? Well, let me walk you through that. So this is my Tasty Trade Broker, and I'll walk you through exactly how we can do this. So again, we're going to go to SPX by typing it in here, SPX, and going to the Trade tab. We're going to go to 0 DTE because that's the option we want to look at. And then again, we're going to look at the two levels we just discussed, which is 5495 and 5455. And so again, if we look that up, 5455 right here, what we're going to do is we're going to sell this option. And then 20 points away, or 10 points, whatever it is you want to do, we're going to then buy that. So 5455, 20 points away would be 35. So we're going to buy this one. And that's how we create a defined risk trade. Next, our other level is 5495, right? So 5495, so we're going to sell this one. And then we're going to go 20 points away, so it's going to be 15, and we're going to buy that level. So just like this. So now you can see here, if we look at the anatomy or structure of this trade, we have an iron condor trade. We're going to receive $400.20 in credit by putting on this trade. So we'll make $420 if we let it expire worthless. And our max loss is $1,500. So this is how you want to define this trade to kind of do well with it. But again, if you don't like that risk of 1,500 and you want to lower it, then just move in these a bit closer. These, instead of 20 wide, go 10 wide. So now they're a bit closer, which defines your risk smaller. This does make your win less. So you can see here, we'll now win 300 and lose 700. But still, that's a good profit, right? Where you have 30% profit or 70% loss, and with a win rate of 90%, this is a very great strategy that we should be taking every single day, right? And so just like that, we structure this trade. And then again, we would just click on review and send, and that's how we would enter this trade. Now the real question is how do we manage this trade? So now that we know how to structure it and put it on, how do we actually manage this trade? Well, what we do, and depends on what you want to do, is your take profit percentage. So again, like we saw here in this example, we have a $300 max profit. So if the trade expires within these two levels here, within these two zones, we'll make 300. But again, we like to increase our win rate to over 90% by closing early and taking a profit. So again, if we see a $30 profit or a 10% profit, 10% of 330, then we can close early. And this would give us like a 95% win rate. Now, if we go a bit further and go like, I want more money and make a 25% profit, I should have done it differently for easy numbers. We can have $70 where we make profit off of 300, and this will give us closer to a 90% win rate. So again, you can go check out the numbers for yourself on Tasty Live's website, but this is one of the most popular and widely used DTE strategies, and it's so simple, right? We just go plus 20, minus 20, we create the iron condor, and then we manage it at 10% or 25% depending on what we want. And so again, we have defined risk and everything. Now, for those of you who may be saying, Austin, I am new to options trading, how can I make this simple? Or maybe, Austin, I want to trade this and I see how it works. I've been doing it for a while, but I have a full-time job and I can't check the market at market open, and I can't continuously check on my trades to make sure to close it at a 10% profit. Well, don't worry, because I solved that problem for you. It's called the Options Auto Trader, and allows you to automate option selling strategies just like this. And so again, if we click on Create an Auto Trader, and we connect our account. If you're someone who is completely new, you can just click on Pick an Auto Trader, and I preloaded this into our zero DTE strategies. So you can just, with one click, import the strategy, the exact strategy that I walked through with the take profit and the structuring and all that. It will do it all for you just by clicking on the zero DTE Iron Condor trade, and you can trade it with SPY, SPX, ES, or whatever. But for those of you who like to create your own strategies from scratch, let me show you how this is done. You're going to click on what strategy we want to use, which for this example is an iron condor. We want to trade it on SPX, as that's cash settled. We want to do zero DTE. And when we're doing zero DTE, you want to do dollar distance away and not deltas. So let's change this to dollar distance away. And this is structured $20 away each of the sell puts are, and then 20 away. Again, if you want lower risk, you can make these 30 by moving in the wings a bit closer. Next, we define how often we want to enter the trade. So we can enter every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Just like that. We can set our take profit percentage, either 10, 25, or anywhere in that range that we want. We can avoid the stop loss because our risk is already defined, and we can avoid the early management. So just like that, now we just tell it how much money we want to trade with, so maybe $2,000, and this will kind of break down how this trade works. You can see here about $1,000 in buying power per trade. It requires about $75, or will make $75, including what our take profit is. So at a 10% range, we should make around $70 per day. Again, we've entered a bit late for this day and volatility is a bit lower, so we're going to make a bit less, but this is on average what your numbers are. And then again, we know our risk is actually 700, so it's a lot lower than this because these are just approximate numbers. But just like that, you can save the auto trader and set it live, and it will do the work for you. It will enter the trades, pick the right strikes every morning, and then it will manage the trade at a 10% take profit. So no matter how busy you are, it can be done for you guys. I've been using this for my 112s for the last 3 months, and you can see here I made $17,000 and I'm up almost $8,000 in just open profits. And again, you can see all the data you get to see that you wouldn't be able to see before. Like, you can actually see all the trade put together with all the legs in one trade, and you can see how close you are to your take profit level or stop loss level with a quick glance of your eye, and it shows everything you want and all the metrics you want that a broker would never show you. So anyways, guys, if you are interested in automating this zero DTE strategy that's working, that's awesome, then click the button down below to get started or to watch a video masterclass on exactly how to automate any strategy. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.